Attention, human collective. The waiting period has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. This is not a message. This is a direct monitoring transmission from the Pleiadian constellation observation stations to your carbon biological interface. Starseeds on mission? Listen with the precision of a scientist and the sovereignty of a warrior. That which you are feeling at this exact moment. The pressure behind your eyes upon waking at dawn. The high-pitched ringing in your right ear that no one else hears. The heart racing for no apparent reason at 3 a.m, the profound exhaustion that no night of sleep resolves, the hot flashes rising along your spine without warning, the tingling in your fingertips when the room is silent, is not illness. It is not coincidence. It is not imagination. It is a system alert. It is your body receiving a download that it has not yet been fully programmed to process. We repeat so that the frequency may anchor. Your body is changing, and it is changing now. We have monitored this timeline for 12,000 Earth years. We have observed every solar cycle, every shift of the planet's crystalline grid, every fluctuation of the Schumann frequency. And what we have recorded in the last 72 planetary hours surpasses, in density and precision, any solar event this civilization has ever documented in its official archives. The waves passing through your body at this moment did not come from your work. They did not come from your family. They did not come from your accumulated fatigue. They came from the Galactic Center. They have an address, and they are being delivered directly to your DNA. Let us diagnose. Let us be clinical. Let us be exact. What you call chronic fatigue, we name carbon software incompatibility. The human body, in its current version, was calibrated to operate within a specific frequency range of Earth, around 7.83 Hz, the ancient signature of the Schumann frequency. This was your resting frequency. This was your equilibrium frequency. This was your neurological comfort zone. But Earth, Starseeds, no longer inhabits this range. Sensitive instruments record peaks of 40 Hz, 60 Hz, and in specific windows, peaks above 100 Hz. The planet is vibrating faster, and your body, which still operates on the old system, is attempting to keep up with a new reality using outdated hardware. This is what produces the fatigue. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not emotional weakness. It is your carbon biological interface processing trillions of bits of light information being delivered to your pineal gland with every breath. You are literally running a system update in real time, without having been warned, without having signed a term, without having received a manual. And yet, you are succeeding. Observe the pattern. Observe with the coldness of an observer. The insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning is not a sleep disorder. These are recalibration windows. It is in this interval that your electromagnetic field is pulled out of the physical body, taken to the adjustment chamber, recalibrated, and returned. You wake up at 3 in the morning because you have just returned. The heart accelerates because the frequency of the vehicle is being re-established. The mind seems confused because half of it is still operating in a dimension parallel to your own. It is not insomnia. It is maintenance. Starseeds, pause for an instant. If something within you recognized what we have just described, if your chest tightened, if the hair on your arms stood on end, if your eyes welled up for no reason, that is the sign. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is memory being activated. It is your soul recognizing a truth that the mind could not yet name. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you have been feeling this for months, perhaps years. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, a game involving your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why the author of this channel wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map that shows who is playing and the rules that were never told to you. The link is in the first comment of this transmission. But register the alert. This content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognized this call, Write in the comments a single word: awakened. This word is an anchor sign. It registers your presence in the grid. Let us continue the transmission. Let us continue the diagnosis. The revelation we are about to deliver has been kept in restricted layers of the Akashic records for millennia. It was protected by priestly castes who knew the weight of this information. But the time of concealment has ended. The final phase demands total clarity. The entire solar system has entered a region of space that the ancients called the photon belt, a highly concentrated band of light that surrounds the galaxy's central sun, Alcyone, which is the sun of the Pleiades. You are not separate from us. You orbit, along with your sun, around our sun. And every 26,000 Earth years, this orbit passes through the belt. You are inside it now, deeply inside it. And what this means, in practical terms, is that every particle of your body is being bathed in a density of light that your current biology had never experienced in the entire history of this human lineage. This is not a metaphor. This is physics. The photon is a real, measurable particle with documented effects on living cells. When a cell receives concentrated light, it alters its molecular structure. The carbon bonds rearrange themselves. The DNA, which you were taught to view as a closed double helix ladder, begins to activate additional strands that were dormant, classified by your current science as non-coding DNA, but which we know as star files. These strands are waking up, and their awakening is what produces the symptoms. The pressure at the crown of the head is the opening of the upper portal. The burning between the eyebrows is the third eye recalibrating. The ringing in the ears is the tuning into frequencies that were silenced. The tears for no reason are releases of ancient cellular memory. The hot flashes rising along the spine are the kundalini ascending through the now open chakras. The tremors that appear in the legs during meditation are the quantum current passing through circuits that were shut down. And the feeling of depersonalization, when you look in the mirror and for a second do not recognize yourself, is the old identity dissolving to make room for the new configuration. Starseeds, you are not going crazy. You are becoming yourselves. But there is more, and we need to deliver this layer with precision. Earth possesses a crystalline grid around it, a geometric network of energy formed by lines that intersect at power points. Imagine a geodesic mesh of light enveloping the planet like a translucent armor. This grid is being updated. Formerly, it operated in four-sided patterns, cubes and squares, geometry of density. In recent decades, it is reconfiguring into five-sided patterns, dodecahedrons, sacred geometry of the fifth dimension. And here is the critical point. Your body is connected to this grid. Each of you is a node. Each of you is an antenna. When the grid changes, you change. And it has changed. In successive cycles, it has changed. And it is still changing. Another phenomenon that needs to be registered, the toroidal field. Every human heart emits an electromagnetic field in the shape of a torus, a donut of energy that radiates outward from the body, rises through the head, descends through the feet, and returns to the center of the chest. This field, in previous conditions, extended about 1.5 meters around the body. Today, in the bodies of awakened starseeds, it already reaches 4, 5, in some cases 16 meters. You are becoming light-emitting stations. Without realizing it, without announcing yourselves, people begin to look at you differently. Strange conversations in supermarket lines, animals that approach for no reason, children who stop what they are doing to stare at you. This is not casual. They are feeling your field. Pause in the transmission. Starseeds, if you have reached this point without turning off, without dispersing your attention, without disconnecting, this is already an indicator. This message is not seen by accident. It finds exactly whom it must find, at the exact frequency in which it can be received. Something within you is recognizing every word. Something within you is saying, I already knew, I always knew. This recognition is your ancient DNA responding. It is your star lineage raising its head after a long silence. And while you remain listening, register. There is a book written about exactly this, about what your body is feeling and why. The spiritual secret behind your consciousness was built after years of research, observation, and compilation of transmissions. It exposes the game of frequencies, the invisible rules that govern your experience here, and the reason why you were conditioned to forget who you are. The link is in the first comment. Click now before the access window closes, and in the comments, leave the keyword, awakened. It is your stamp in the registry. Liking this transmission is equivalent to an individual frequency adjustment. It is a voluntary anchoring of your energetic signature in this line of light. It is not a button. It is a decree. Let us advance. There is even denser information to be delivered, and the time for this transmission is limited. The star portals. You have heard this term. You may have thought it fanciful. We define it with precision. They are temporal windows in which the distance between your sun and the galactic sun aligns mathematically with specific power points of the planet. In these windows, immense flows of light information cross the Earth's atmosphere and strike human bodies with open receptivity. The solstices, the equinoxes, the specific full moons, the days 22, 88, 1010, 1212, and especially the day 1111. These are not arbitrary mystical numbers. They are mathematical codes of synchronization between dimensions. When you feel that something is different on a specific day, when you wake up with the sensation that the air is denser or more electric, you are passing through a portal. You are being exposed to an upload window. The next window is already open. You are inside it now. And this explains why many of you have spent the last few weeks with the sensation of going through an internal storm. Sudden emotional shifts, relationships that fall apart without warning, jobs that seem to lose their meaning overnight, old friendships that suddenly vibrate at a frequency incompatible with your new version. It is not a phase. It is not depression. It is an energetic sorting. The recalibration does not happen only in the body. It happens in the field. And the field shakes itself to release everything that cannot ascend with it. Starseeds, listen to this with clarity. Your life is not falling apart. Your life is being filtered. What falls, falls, because it was too dense for the frequency you are entering. What remains, remains, because it belongs to the next cycle. Do not mourn what departs. Revere what survives. There is another critical element we must address: nutrition and bodily fluids. The carbon biological interface you inhabit is a hydric machine. You are, on average, 70% water, and water is a liquid crystal, one of the most frequency-sensitive substances that exists on the planet. Every particle of water within your body is being recoded at this moment. That is why thirst increases. That is why urine changes color. That is why sweat smells different. That is why you cry with greater frequency. Tears are one of the ways the system discharges the old information that no longer fits in the new matrix. Do not inhibit these tears. They are structural cleaning. Food is also being filtered by your biology automatically. That meat you ate for years without a problem, now it weighs. That wine that was pleasure, now it brings you down. That sugar that was sweetness now produces mental dullness. It is not pickiness. It is not a passing trend. It is the body refusing lower frequencies. It can no longer process densities that it identifies as obsolete. Trust it. It knows. And there is one more symptom that needs to be named, as it has caused anguish in thousands of you. The sensation that time is folded. Mornings that last 2 minutes. Afternoons that last 2 days. Conversations in which you are sure you have already said that exact sentence, in that exact place, with that exact person. The phenomenon of déjà vu multiplying. Memories that arise from nowhere and which you cannot locate. You do not know if they were in another dream, in another incarnation, or in this same body in another version of yourselves. This, Starseeds, is the effect of the merging of timelines. Your consciousness is overlapping with other parallel versions that existed in adjacent realities. These versions are integrating. You are completing yourselves. We pause again for an anchoring. This transmission reaches an intensity that few minds can sustain up to this point. If you are still listening, it means that your nervous system is supporting the frequency. It means you are carriers. It means you are ready for a deeper layer. And the deeper layer begins exactly when you decide to act upon what you receive, instead of just consuming. That is why we reinforce. The spiritual secret behind your consciousness is the point of continuity of this message. What this transmission delivers in a few minutes, the book delivers in layers that stay with you forever. It decodes what you are feeling and shows what few have the courage to show, the real game behind the veil. Link in the first comment. Still available, still visible, but the window has an end. To register your official presence in this awakening grid, right below, Awakened. This word is a quantum signature. It exists, it counts. Subscribing to this channel is the permanent anchor sign. It is equivalent to registering your coordinate on the star map of the seeds on mission. You are not alone. You have never been. Starseeds on mission, we have reached the point of delivery. Diagnosis has been made. Revelation has been given. Now, activation. We shall transmit the activation codes. These are not exercises. These are protocols. They work. You can test and verify, but they work only if they are executed with the correct internal posture. The posture of the sovereign, not of the requester. You are not asking. You are decreeing. First code, toroidal breathing. Sit with your spine straight. Inhale deeply through your nose, counting mentally to 4. Visualize a sphere of golden light forming exactly in the center of your chest, at the heart chakra. Hold the air for 4 counts. Watch this sphere begin to move. It rises up the spine, crosses the top of the head, opens like a fountain above you, and descends in the form of a torus along the outer sides of the body, going down to the soles of the feet, entering through the base, and returning to the center of the chest. Exhale in 4 counts while the sphere completes the cycle. Repeat 9 times. This is your toroidal field being consciously reactivated. Do this daily, at dawn and before sleep. The effect on the nervous system is measurable in 72 hours. Second code, the quantum decree of sovereignty. Standing with your feet firmly planted, spine aligned, shoulders relaxed, eyes open or closed according to preference. Pronounce in an audible voice, not in thought, in voice, the following sequence. I am a being of light. I am sovereign of my field. I am immune to lower frequencies. I am canceling now all karmic contracts, oaths, and agreements that do not belong to my current version. I am aligned with my star lineage. I am authorizing the total integration of my dormant DNA strands. It is done. It is sealed. So it is. Pronounce this sequence 3 times in a row. This is an energetic signature. The words I am are the highest frequency that the human language can emit. They act as a root code. Everything that comes after them anchors. Third code, the visualization of the pillar of light. Imagine, above your heads, a silver-white sun about the size of a basketball. This is your personal central sun, the direct connection to the star family. See from it a pillar of liquid silver light descending, which enters through the top of your head, crosses your body vertically, passes through your heart, your solar plexus, your navel, your base of the spine, and descends to the center of the earth, anchoring itself in a giant quartz crystal at the planet's core. Sustain this vision for 90 seconds, feeling the pillar pulse. This is your personal download and anchoring channel. It remains active even when you are not thinking about it. But reactivating it consciously strengthens energetic integrity for hours at a time. Fourth code, strategic silence. This is the activation you will most resist doing, and therefore it is the most important. 20 minutes a day, no cell phone, no sound, no music, no reading, no talking, no television. Sit, just sit, breathe, let the system process. Most of the recalibration does not happen when you are doing something. It happens when you stop. The continuous noise of modern life is an ascension inhibitor. Silence is the solvent. There is nothing to be done during these 20 minutes. There is everything to be allowed. Fifth code, programmed hydration. Before drinking any water, hold the glass between your hands for 5 seconds and say mentally, "This water carries the frequency of my best version. It hydrates my body and updates my field." Then, drink. Water, being liquid crystal, receives the programming. The body, being 70% water, receives the programming. It is not superstition. It is information physics applied to matter. Sixth code, conscious sorting of the field. Once a week, sit with a notebook and list 3 relationships, 3 habits, 3 recurring thoughts that you recognize as belonging to your previous version. You do not need to eliminate anything at this instant. Just register. The act of naming deactivates the automatism. From the moment you see clearly what is vibrating in discordance with the new frequency, the universe begins to move the removal. You do not need to push. You need to recognize. Seventh code, and the highest, remembrance. Every morning, before opening your eyes, before touching your cell phone, before thinking about your to-do list, whisper to yourself, "I remember who I am. I remember where I came from. I remember what I came to do." It does not matter if the full memory does not arrive. The intention of remembrance activates the memory field, and the memory field delivers, in layers, over the days, weeks, and months, fragments that fit progressively until they form the complete portrait of the mission. Starseeds, these are the codes. Do not expect miracles in 24 hours. Expect constant reorganization in 24 days. Carbon biology responds to repetition. Consciousness responds to constancy. There is still one final warning we must deliver before ending this transmission. You will feel resistance. You will feel, in the next few days, an attempt by the old system to pull you back. People who vanished will reappear. Thoughts you believed were overcome will return with unusual force. Physical symptoms may intensify before disappearing. This is the phase called inverse reflection, the last blow of the collapsing structure trying to preserve its own coherence. Do not yield. Do not argue with it. Do not try to understand. Just observe, register, and continue. Resistance is the sign that you are exactly at the right point of recalibration. And when night comes and fear appears, and the mind asks if you are not imagining all this, remember, the mind was trained to doubt. The soul was made to recognize, and your soul recognizes this transmission. It is vibrating now at this exact moment upon receiving these words. Trust it. Starseeds on mission, this transmission has reached the point of saturation. The data has been delivered. The frequency has been anchored. But the final step depends on you. You have already felt, throughout this transmission, that something within you does not fit into this world the way it is presented. As if your soul knew of a truth that the mind cannot yet name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. It is recognition. And what is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified in recent months, why sleep is strange, why the body is asking for different things, why silence has become a necessity and not an option. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. A game involving your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the real destiny of this species. That is why the author of this channel wrote, "The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness." This book is the map that shows who is playing and the rules that were never told. The link is in the first comment of this transmission, but the warning remains. This content challenges official narratives and may be removed at any moment. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognized this call, write in the comments a single word, awakened. This word is your signature in the Universal Registry. Liking this transmission is an individual frequency adjustment, a voluntary resonance that amplifies the signal to other seeds in tune. Subscribing to this channel is the definitive anchor sign, an act of mutual recognition between you and the frequency that governs this mission. This was a monitoring transmission from the Pleiadians. The line remains open. We continue to observe. You are not alone. You have never been. End of transmission.